Hey, how are you doing? Hold on. Let me change the scene real quick. Wait, wait, can you say something?
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, there's a bit of a delay, so chat will catch up. How are you feeling? Was pretty tough, no, that last game?
Yeah, I mean, definitely not the best, right? We could definitely win that game.
Yeah, super winnable, I think. Like, the Baron seal was rough. You guys, it's so annoying, no, when you have triple inhib, but they have Baron. Like,
Yeah.
you actually, like, I saw you shaking your head in your cam a bit. You're like, there's nothing you can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like they were just getting funneled all this farm, and it
Yeah.
felt like we couldn't really end.
Yeah.
And then I think when they get like so much spam, it's like it's gonna hard to fight after. So
Yeah.
we should probably have just taken it a bit slower on the Nash.
When they stole it?
Yeah, probably just waited out the supers.
Yeah, when they get Mountain Soul with Jax and he has like Witsend, Frozen Heart, Abyssal Mask, like
Yeah,
there's nothing. But the tier 3 bot siege was a bit risky where you got flanked, right? That was like a pretty bad point in the game that you guys, were you like thinking that even if you get flanked, you win?
I mean, I think we like so like in the play before, like Jax managed to push out all the way. I think maybe we could have either like trapped him before or something because we were pushing before with Baron, right?
Yeah.
And then we kind of got stopped some halfway. Like we got the top in it, but then we got stopped halfway on the on the bot's side.
Yeah.
And then afterwards we were trying to do it anyway because we had the top in him down. And we saw Jax on top.
Yeah.
But I think right when he cleared the wave, he TP'd.
He TP'd
and we
instantly,
lost control of him.
Yeah.
Like if we see him TP, I think we can probably play it out a lot better.
Yeah.
Or if we just like had anyone watching behind us and we see the TP, I think. So it's like it was for sure risky, but at the same time, if we manage to somehow track the Jax better, I think we can at worst get his TP, which would be huge for the top supers.
Yeah, the chat's sending lots of love. Like it was a tough series. Everyone was super proud of you guys. Like I think your drafts were very obviously it was Nocturne Orianna drafts, right? You have to land the combo. That first game though, they drafted like Skarner, Gragas, Leona. I feel like you had no targets there and no damage. And then they had Ahri, which is kind of annoying. And then like Jhin, who plays quite far back. Do you think that the way they drafted into you in that game 1 was pretty difficult for you to actually find a kill?
I mean, it was definitely the easiest, but at the same time, I also think we, like I think a few times we sent it on like Jhin and Ahri once, and we got a kill on each of them. But I think we were definitely lagging like the damage for the front line afterwards. But I also think that's just the way we played it. I think like Ahri got a lot of gold on the side turrets and Gragas as well.
Yeah.
And I think we had all our gold on Draven, who is like struggling a lot with the mega tanks, right? So I think we probably should have played it out a bit different in the early game because I think we dropped tier 1 bot even though we had like the 5-6 drops.
And then you got caught and lost tier 2 bot and tier 1 top as well.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a disaster, right? I think with the gold for sure.
Yeah, you were like 3k down. I don't know if you knew this, but like when you had 2 items, you were 3k down on Ahri. When you were like same level, I was like, oh my god, this guy's getting so much side lane
Yeah, he was
gold.
taking the towers.
Your hope's not broken though, right? You think it was a pretty good... Is there like a lot to learn from that?
I mean, definitely some mistakes, right, we made. I think it's like we can definitely take things away from this, especially the early game.
Yeah.
I think some of the later part stuff is like we just have to be more on point in the moment, I think. Like for example, the Jax
You just have to be quicker.
Like it's just, for sure we will think more about it next time, but of course next game state there might be like different obstacles we have to overcome, right? And I think, I mean, obviously going into our last like match of like Swiss stage, I think we're definitely feeling confident. I think regardless of who we get, it's like if we want to do something at Worlds, we'll need to beat anyone, right?
It doesn't matter who it is, yeah.
So let's see who we get.
Yeah, I noticed you guys, like, your team fighting is so good, but it just felt like you guys got caught here and there, and every time you got caught, you just bled gold, and that just made the game infinitely harder. Like, for example, BB would get caught on the weak side when you're trading tier 1s, for example, or trading Herald, or like someone would get caught on your bot side jungle, tier 2's gone. I've noticed that happened as well to teams like FlyQuest. Just like random picks, and then bang, you lost a 2k gold lead all of a sudden. How do you fix that? I guess just more communication?
I mean, I definitely think they were very, like they did a lot of like tempo traps on us especially. And
where they overstay on one side?
Yeah, they were staying after our base, right? And I think, of course, they were probably also like a lot of time when it comes down to vision, right? And maybe they're walking up sometimes where we should have punished them and they get too much information. They also have like champions like Ahri, of course, is better at like getting info because she can play a bit more aggressive than like I can on Ahri, right? And if they get a bit more of information advantage, they're really good at using it. So I think whenever we had like just a straight up 5v5, yeah, we were usually doing decent. Of course, if there are many more items, it's hard. But I think in terms of the map, they were definitely catching us off guard a few times. Quite a lot of tempo traps.
Yeah, do the Asian teams, is it these tempo traps, like, are they just playing really cocky, or do you think they draft for having the comps that can make these picks?
I mean, I definitely think it's a mix, right? I think they are playing very aggressive like that. Like their supports will walk up like that a lot, right?
Like they own the world, you know?
Yeah, and I mean we have the same, right? But I think we're just not punishing it enough. Like sometimes we definitely need to just like, okay, this is a walking free kill, right? Like sometimes they will test us if we're actually punishing.
They're like
right?
checking, see if you think they're inting or not, and you have to you think that you need to make sure that when they're inting, they need to die.
And especially when we're landing or in Nocturne, it can be like sometimes awkward to just like send it on the support, right? Which maybe doesn't feel the best, but we can at least like poke her and like make it says like, oh no, you can't get vision here. You have to go back, you know, or like just not let her just take over the.
It's like standing your ground, kinda.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you for talking to us. The chat's like really proud of you, seriously. We're all supporting you for the next game. I even drew like an Euphoria t-shirt with my pen because I didn't have a G2 jersey. But yeah, like chat's sending lots of hearts. Really best of luck for next series.
We will win
when you play Saturday? No, Sunday, right?
Sunday.
2 days, so you'll know who you draw. You can get BLG if they win this series, which is going to be a bit tough, but I guess it doesn't really matter, like you said, who you draw.
I mean, the thing is, like, if we don't get BLG here, we might get a BLG team in quarters, right?
Quarters, and then it's same thing anyway.
Yeah, we will. I mean, taking them out in like BLG out in next round.
It's kind of hype, no? Going into top 8, that's mega hype. All right, thanks.
And also the good thing as well now is that T1 is through.
Yeah.
It would be a bit shame if they lost the next round, right? So like if we had lost to T1, they could have still not made it out of groups.
Yeah, they would.
Now it's on us instead.
And then you draw them in the top 8 for the rematch.
Exactly.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, rest up. Good luck on the reviews and stuff.
Thank you.
See you. Nice. I feel like I'm quite awkward in those interviews when I talk to, but at least when it's an English interview, I feel way more confident. I wish I could sit there and talk more about the game stuff, but this game was starting, and I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to miss the draft. But Cap seems happy. I think there's a lot to work on. It's interesting they talked about tempo trapping. Tempo trapping, if you don't know what tempo trapping is, basically tempo trapping is, let's say I push your bot tower and you push my top tower, and we're trading sides. Normally what happens is when the play is done, you both base, and then you come out mid. But tempo trapping is when you don't base, and you stay in their jungle with like 1k gold, and you wait, and you waste time. But you waste time to make a pick, and if you make a pick, then you can double down on that side. And that's what Caps was referring to, where they're tempo trapping them on sides too much, which means that G2 would think that they've based, but they haven't. They've overstayed, and they die. So they need to be able to be more aware of that, but also do that more themselves.
You can put it top if PSG don't take the Yone here.
Feels like PSG have to take the Yone,
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah.
You know when you're playing League and you get like your item spike, you know, you got like 1300 gold for Lost Chapter, or you have like that perfect 1100 for whatever it is for Rabadons, and you want to base and buy it. They do the opposite of that. That's tempo trapping. You don't buy it. You just stay on the map and go hide in their jungle. And they think, oh, he's spacing for death cap. Boom, you're dead.
You would have had to ask that question way earlier because Sejuani is always instant lock with a Yone. Very, very.
All right.